We are officially reaching the breaking point in Indianapolis. The excuses are running out. The patience of the fan base has completely evaporated, and the tension inside the press conference room last night was so thick you could cut it with a knife. When your franchise point guard drops 32 points, hits miraculous clutch shots, and basically breaks her back trying to drag a dysfunctional roster to victory. The absolute minimum expectation is that the head coach will take to the podium, accept full accountability, and answer the hard questions. But last night, after suffering a catastrophic double overtime 104-102 loss on their home floor, Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White did the exact opposite. Welcome back. This is WNBA Pro, and today we are breaking down one of the most embarrassing, evasive, and outright unacceptable post-game press conferences in recent WNBA history. We are talking about how Stephanie White stood in front of the media and actively dodged accountability for her completely broken defensive schemes, her baffling lineup combinations, and the sheer lack of adjustments that allowed the Washington Mystics to score over 100 points in back-to-back home losses. We are doomed. If you watch that game and, more importantly, if you listen to the coach speak after the game, you cannot walk away with any other conclusion. The Indiana Fever are currently operating like a team that is utterly lost. They are playing from behind. They are relying on impossible fourth-quarter miracles just to force overtime. And the most terrifying part is that the person in charge seems completely paralyzed when it comes to fixing the root cause of the problem.
It's when we don't consistently defend. Again, and this is on us as coaches. Like, this is our responsibility. We got to be disciplined the entire game. We got to be disciplined every possession. We're taking chances. We're fouling shooters who are about to shoot tough shots. We got breakdowns in coverages.
Listen to what Stephanie White said when reporters pressed her about the horrific second and third quarters. The quarters where the Fever completely collapsed offensively and defensively. She said, "We put a lot of pressure on our offense to be perfect when we don't consistently defend. We got to be disciplined. We got breakdowns in coverages. We got to find combinations of players and rotations that net efficiency." She used a lot of buzzwords. She talked about discipline. She talked about combinations. But notice what she did not do. She did not answer the actual question. She refused to name exactly why she was deploying lineups that were getting absolutely shredded in the paint. She refused to address why Aliyah Boston, her franchise center, was forced to play on the perimeter like a guard while the Mystics lived in the paint. She stood there and admitted that the coaching staff needs to find the right combinations, completely ignoring the fact that it is literally her multi-million-dollar job to have those combinations figured out before the ball is tipped in a professional game. And while the coach was spinning in circles, dealing in vague coaching cliches, Caitlin Clark stepped up to the microphone and delivered the cold, hard, uncomfortable truth.
That's our biggest area of growth is everyone wants to go over and they're making shots. And for us, that's our biggest room for improvement right now is when things aren't going well, we still got to be able to defend and, find ways to get stops. And we haven't done that very well to this point, same way it was with our opening.
When reporters asked White about getting dominated inside, she blamed communication. She blamed initial positioning. She blamed resting on defense. But the elephant in the room that she absolutely refused to address was her personnel decisions. Why was Monique Billings playing 36 minutes as the backup big, only producing 10 points and 9 rebounds while the Mystics front court was having a career night? Why did the front office sign players like Dyrus Dantes instead of a true rim protector during the offseason? Why was the team repeatedly exposed on the weak side? And why did the coach wait until the fourth quarter to finally draw up out-of-bounds plays that actually worked? The reality is that Stephanie White is actively sabotaging Caitlin Clark's MVP-caliber season. Clark played 37 grueling minutes. She dropped 32 points. She went 7 for 17 from deep. She finally found her lethal step, going to her left. She executed everything that was asked of her. She fought through double teams. She dealt with terrible spacing, and she hit huge clutch shots to keep this team breathing. But as Clark herself said at the podium, "It was great, but I don't really care because we lost."
Best defensive moments at worst.
I think a lot of things. One, intensity. I think attention to detail. It's little things. It's initial positioning. It's communication. It's reacting. It's relaxing off ball. There are a lot of things that are outside of, and great players make great plays. And the thing that Washington does is they keep moving. So
I mean, obviously going to the left, that's what I like. But at the same time, like, I don't get a ton of catch-and-shoot threes, so, take what you can get. But, it was great, but I don't really care because we lost. Caitlin, 37 minutes tonight. How do you feel coming out of that one? An honest smile on your face. So it's probably I don't really care because we lost. That is the mindset of a winner trapped in a system built for losers. We have to look at the massive playoff implications here. The Indiana Fever is dropping completely winnable home games. They are giving up over 100 points consistently. If they do not fix this defense and fix it immediately, they are not going to make the playoffs. Can you imagine the catastrophic fallout if Caitlin Clark misses the WNBA playoffs? Do you remember what the media did to Angel Ree when her team fell short? The headlines will be merciless. The entire narrative of the season will shift from a celebration of the league's growth to a brutal dissection of Indiana's failure. The Fever front office is playing with absolute fire. The fans are doing their job. The arena is packed. The energy is electric.
And obviously going to the left, that's what I like, but at the same time, like, I don't get a ton of catch and shoot threes, so, take what you can get, but it's great, but I don't really care because we lost.
Caitlin, 37 minutes tonight. How do you feel coming out of that one? See the smile on your face. So,
Masterclass in evasion. It was a horrible excuse from a coach who is clearly losing her grip on the locker room. When you get outscored 20-9 in the second quarter of a home game because you committed 8 fouls and gave the opposing team a free parade to the free throw line. That is undisciplined coaching. The honeymoon is over. Christy Sides was heavily criticized. But even her teams did not look this disconnected and defensively pathetic early in the season. If the Indiana Fever drop another home game because of horrific lineup management and non-existent interior defense, the front office is going to be forced into a corner. The calls for Stephanie White to be fired are no longer just angry fans on social media. It is becoming a mathematically and strategically sound argument. You cannot waste 32-point masterpiece performances from the greatest point guard in the league because you cannot figure out how to stop a basic pick and roll. What do you think about Stephanie White's evasive press conference? Is she completely losing control of the locker room, or are the players to blame for the total lack of defensive effort when their shots aren't falling? And how much longer can the front office ignore the massive hole in their front court? Drop your most unfiltered, honest take in the comments below. We read every single one. If you want the raw truth about the WNBA, the truth that the mainstream media refuses to cover, smash that subscribe button right now. Destroy the notification bell so you never miss a deep dive breakdown. The season is on the line in Indiana, and the clock is ticking. This is WNBA Pro. We will see you in the next.